and gentlemen, welcome into our second series of the night against the Florida Puppeteers and the Chicago Hunter. We're starting off with Barbeto going absolutely massive there on yellow plat, as we do see the side of Florida here take control of the speed one.
Now, Wolfie's out of breath, and so are these players. The Florida Puppeteer able to wipe them all off of that P1 in control, and then Zonk going for the P2 spawns, unable to get the kill. But Florida, you must be very happy with how you started off this map.
It's I mean, you gotta be happy with yourself there. You still got 20 seconds left. P1 is gonna be uncontested here as we're starting this rotate towards P2. We do see someone hopping over trash can right about now, and we do see Barbeto unfortunately gonna fall down towards trash can there. But we do see Florida with the commanding, gonna be about a 37-point lead here heading into P2 with the rotations here. But the other side of Florida, we just see Diaz here by himself, unfortunately gonna fall. But the rest of the side of Florida kind of looking for these players from the side of Chicago.
Diaz doing a good job of at least delaying these Chicago Hunted players from hopping onto that point. They lost that 15 seconds onto where they did have rotations, and the kills are still coming in for the side of Florida. Trades are in, but it is Roberto able to do what he needed to do for his team, and able to at least delay that push from the side of Florida. And now look at the spawns, they all flippity flop. Florida does have the bad spawns for P3, and Chicago is trying to set up for new here.
Yeah, you know, you can't say I'm one for flip-flops, but it is getting summer season, so you got to let those toes hang out a little bit. But we do see the side of Florida, they are able to get quite a bit of scrap time here, but the side of Chicago is rotated over towards that P3 side. There's going to be two crucial kills coming down here. We see another gunfight from Diaz towards middle. He is gonna fall eventually to the side of MWIII, and that's Chicago Hunted. Their they are on time, and they have a bunch of time here, as it's just gonna be uncontested, just picking off some connector kills here, as Clinics is just roaming through junk here, able to pick up one. He is gonna spot the second player here. We should see a gunfight coming down Huts, but he does have some backup here from the side of MWIII, but the rest of the side of Florida here is gonna be pushing through junk.
Yeah, doing a phenomenal job here, Chicago holding. But the kills are starting to come in from the side of Florida. MWIII with a two-piece holding it off a bit more for his team. And just like that, Chicago is going to take the lead onto this P3. But not before Drafty goes on the flank. He gets one. Can he get the second? Unable to do so. Chicago Hunted are going to take the rest of the scrap. And the side of Florida are going to start setting up for P4.
Yeah, it almost looks like we're seeing an exact replica of kind of what happened the last time, where we see one team kind of get ahead, P1 and P2, and then P3, that other team just says no thank you and just takes the rest of that time. And so we see Chicago Hunted here, you know, only allowing Florida to get 20 points on P2 and P3 and taking 70 for themselves here. So it's a good setup from the side of Chicago. We do see kind of this mixy P4 coming in here as the side of Florida and Chicago. You're just going to see kills going back and forth in the kill feed, as Florida are able to stack two, but Clinics is here, top church, to try to make a difference.
Clinics does get one, hops down, does get gunned down by Zonk, and now Zonk is on the hill. Can he get the second? Easy kills for Zonk, but it is Roberto able to get two kills, both wall bangs. His gun is shooting missiles right now, but MWIII's there for the trade, and just like that, Chicago are going to take a solid lead going into this next hill. Never mind, spoke too soon. Trapsy's there, gets the three-piece. Clip that. Trapsy is on fire right now.
Trapsy doing huge work there for his team. Not quite able to level it up there on the point side, but they are going to put some stuns down here. Florida able to pick up two, make that three there, with Zonk getting that last kill on Clinics, as this whole side of Chicago is going to be spawning super deep P2 jump up trash can here, as we do see a lead change here going from the side of Florida, as they are set up here towards this red side, able to hold off at least the first couple players. We did see a cruise missile coming down from MWIII, is able to take the person off time, as we do see Chicago kind of pick up some of these kills mid-map, but we do see Florida still in control at that time.
Yeah, Florida taking advantage of those spawns and making sure to flood the hill as soon as they spawn into this P5, and Caesar with a big kill there, now hiding between those two shacks on P5, trying to soak up as much hill time as possible. The stun is in. Zonk with the info. He gets one, plays his life. Can he get the second on Roberto? On it. Oh, he does. That is a big kill for Zonk right there. And just like that, Florida now in control, around 40 points ahead of Chicago.
And Chicago really needs to hold this P1 here. They had a bad P1 the first side. They even spawned the good side on P1, and so they lost a lot of time there. And so this is a big kill from the side of Chicago. Florida's sorry, Zonk is able to pick up a few kills. Fortunately, he's going to fall to Roberto there in the P1. Ismay's doing some work there in the spawn, able to pick up 2 huge kills there. As Trapsy's kind of the last one to worry about. He did make a little bit of a flank there towards that mid side, but we do see Chicago finally hop in that time, get a little bit of uncontested time here. But Zonk's looking to make a big difference here. P2, or not P2, sorry, top second. Unfortunately, he is going to fall, and so we see a little bit of a contest going down here, but we do see number 3, Diaz, once again holding this back heady ready for P2.
Diaz did a phenomenal job here last time, just holding and delaying, but this time Clinics does read it, gets the kill from the alley area, and then Clinics with another big kill for his team. Just like that, Chicago is now in control of P2 with all the Florida Puppeteers players spawning out. They're going to try and hop from red, but no, it is Roberto with the kill. Esme, he tries to punch him down, but it is Zonk. Zonk just slides around him with the drop shot, able to get the kill. Chicago still in control, though.
Chicago doing a great job here on this P2. You know, they got the first half of this hill. We'll see if they can hold the second half. They brought this back to a 20-point lead for themselves here on this P2. They look like they have a pretty good setup there, getting the kills. That's going to be the player out of time. Florida's going to be able to pick up a little bit of time here as we see some fights coming down. Zonk is able to take on Ismay kind of here for the rest of this time. Ismay gets some shots in, but does not pick up the kill, as Zonk's going to get a little bit aggressive. It's going to be the rest of the scrap time towards Chicago, but we do see there on the right side of the screen that Florida has made the huge rotate over towards P3. They're going to have, or P3, they're going to have about 10 seconds uncontested time here before they even see a gunfight towards Hill, and so it's just important for Florida here to get some of these initial kills here. Trapsy, top third, able to make a difference there towards middle. Roberto, unfortunately, going to fall to Zonk there. Trapsy going to pick up another kill towards third, and so it's going to be all of Chicago. Spawning towards that junk side with Pogue here, just kind of hanging out in window side, just trying to be a little bit of a menace. He's going to get backside. This could be an important role for his team here.
Yeah, doing a phenomenal job so far, Florida, on this P3, but Pogue, like you said, on the flank, gets one, gets the, not the second. Diaz is there, able to get the kill, but Roberto able to get the trade, and right now, it is all up to the remaining Chicago players to rotate onto that P4, but Florida's already set up, and Diaz there with the opening kill on P4. Esme gets the trade, though. So it is 184 to 162 in the favor of Florida with rotations to P4.
Yeah, Florida has done a good job here. We've seen a back and forth between both teams. One team kind of able to take a 20-30 point lead. The other team just able to take it right back and make that a 20 or 30 point lead for themselves. And so this will be an interesting kind of end to this map here as we see Chicago currently controlling this hard point. P4 is super notorious for not being able to get a lot of points here, but we do see 3 down. Make that 4 down from the side of Florida here. Chicago getting split spawns here. It's going to be a tough read from the side of Florida here. And we do see Chicago here. Not opting to rotate towards P5, but still pushing P2, and that's not going to pay off for him here.
Now Florida is trying to take a big lead here. The setup is already there for P5, and we've seen the way they hold it. They did a phenomenal job on it last time, and it was stopped up for a bit by the crews that came in from the side of Chicago, but I don't believe Chicago has the crews to work with this time. Trapsy all on his own back here, trying to get the ticks, trying to get the kills before the players from Chicago flood from behind, and now they're pinching. Trapsy unable to get the kill there, but Diaz is just playing his life, soaking up hill time while the rest of his team comes in, and Chicago now has good spawns for P5. 214 to 179 is the score here in Florida. Now 30 seconds left on this hill. They can not win it, but they can get very close before they hop onto this next P1. We'll see if Chicago's going to be able to break or if they're just going to set up on P1.
Yeah, that was a great play from this side of Diaz there. He was just able to play back huts, really play his life well here, as Florida's not going to be able to win it here on this P5. They're going to have to get towards that P1, but they are definitely not worried about the time. They're only going to have to pick up 2 seconds, I believe, on this P1. Maybe just one. Yeah, that's going to be 2 seconds here on this P1 or P2. They can kind of elect to either here, so just play as a team, get your kills, and this map is over for the side of Florida. But as of right now, Chicago is in control of this hill. We're going to see 2 down. That's going to be 3 down. Zonk's just going to hop on hill and just hide. And that's going to be the game for the Florida Puppeteers. That's a great game out of the side of Florida. Chicago really fought well during the middle there, but Florida just towards the end really rotated well and took the rest of that. That's that map from the side of Chicago.
Yeah, phenomenal job there. Florida was able to take that map 1 with an insane performance from Zonk right there. And speaking of Zonk, we're starting on his perspective. He does not have that covert sneakers on, so we're going to see him fly around the map here, trying to do what he can. Looks like it's going to be an A hit for the side of Florida.
Yeah, Florida's kind of taking this a little bit slow. They do have A control now. It's going to be 3 people towards there. Bomb not going down quite yet. Here's the side of Chicago is able to make a wrap through P1, kind of through the back spawn of Florida here. And Florida's got to be expecting kind of at this point that someone's going to be hitting your spawn. You have someone who's pushed through bridge. Had some interesting timing over there. But we do see Diaz able to pick up 1 in the back. Bomb finally going down as we see the flank from Chicago coming in.
And this could potentially be the slowest round of S&D on Rio that we have ever seen in our lives. I mean, it took them a minute and a bit to get bomb down and get that first opening kill. So far, nothing's going on the map, but it is Diaz getting his 2nd kill now. And the 2 Chicago players are trying to flood from top armor. 1 dies, it is Clinics, and now it's all up to Roberto. Roberto in a 4v1 situation, pretty much impossible. Florida carry that momentum from map 1 and take that first round on offense.
Yeah, it's a good round from the side of Florida. You know, maybe a little questionable there on why you're taking that so slow, but they are able to take the round nonetheless. It doesn't matter how; it just matters that you got it. And so it's a good round from the side of Florida. Diaz able to pick up 3 kills there. He's gonna be 3-0 on the round, and you know, I'm gonna ask every single time someone gets 3 kills round 1, is that gonna be enough to get that cruise missile there and that the search and destroy? And, you know, on Rio, it's kind of crucial there. If you're gonna play A, you need that cruise missile, especially later in the series here. But we're looking for the side of Chicago on this attacking round to come back here. And Trap is gonna be able to pick up a couple shots on the side of MWIII towards this bridge side here. So the side of Chicago's been spotted. Side of Florida knows, but we do see a self nade coming in from the side of Diaz, and then MWIII showing Diaz how to actually nade the other team with a nade there.
Yeah, those 2 nade kills here, and bomb is going down as well. Chicago hunted in a 4v2. Similar situation, but the opposite this time, where Chicago does have the life advantage, and Poe getting tagged but able to get away with his life. And so far now it's Caesar on the flank here. And Florida, you have to play faster. Time is ticking here. Trapsy with a 1, and Caesar's just nowhere to be found on this map. He does have to do something. Does get 1 kill, makes it a 2v2. 18 seconds left. Trapsy's weak in a tough situation to be in.
Yeah, Trapsy's got to make something work here. He's unfortunately going to get some bad timing there on Roberto, and Roberto's going to go absolutely massive towards you, pick up the player on bomb, and then pick up the player you, evening that out from the side of Chicago. And it's just a, you know, play that life advantage. You did lose that life advantage, but it is a good round from the side of Roberto and the side of Chicago hunted.
Yeah, Chicago doing a great job there of winning that offensive round and tying it 1-1. And if you're Florida, you might want to start experimenting with being a bit more aggressive on your pushes there and trying to take more of that map control and not giving Chicago a lot of space to work with. We'll see if they're going to do this on this offensive hit. They're going for A once again. It was successful once. Will it be successful again? Diaz does get gunned down this time, so he can't go for his flank.
Yeah, it's the second time Diaz is going to die to a nade. Unfortunately, this one's going to be from the other team. So, you know, the side of Florida here, they're down 2-4 once again, playing offense, just trying to play really passive here. Trapsy has a chance to make something work. Unfortunately, his teammate is going to fall, and he's going to die from behind. And so Chicago just doing a good job there, playing picks and then getting aggressive when you need to, picking up that 2nd round win here on this Rio Search and Destroy. So we'll be interested to see how Chicago takes this into the attacking round. That's going to be 2 rounds in a row for them.
And Chicago is 2-0 on this Rio S&D in the regular season, so they do have some experience on this map, and they have experience winning it as well. While the side of Florida is 1-1, so if you're Chicago, you have to be feeling a bit more confident coming into this that you do have the advantage on these maps. So we'll see how they carry out the rest of the search and destroy. But so far, after losing 1 round, they've got 2 back, and now they're in the lead.
And this is the time to use that momentum. You've won 2 in a row here. Try to win a couple more. If you can take a 4-1 lead here, in perfect sense, you're feeling pretty good about the search here. Just really, as a team, the thing you want to make sure to do is get your kills here and make sure you're not losing this round to tie it back up and throw momentum.
And once again, another slow round, but this time it's from the side of Chicago. They're having difficulty hitting that B site because Zonk is doing such a good job of playing his life, getting some tags and then running away. Getting, once again, some tags, plays his life, doing a great job of just holding this P1 all on his own, basically. Spoke too soon.
Yeah, it's always the caster curse that's coming in here. Zonk unfortunately going to fall there as the bomb is going down towards this B side. Caesar able to pick up one. I guess he's just going to not see the player on bomb or something like that. So I'm thinking CRL is going to get sponsored by Zenny or something. We need some glasses for these bronze players tonight. But the side of Chicago Hunted is going to take that two-man advantage here after this post plant here in Traps. This is pretty much all but done for. You got spotted from the side of you taking shots. You're just completely surrounded here, and so it's a good round from the side of Chicago.
That is 3 in a row from the side of Chicago, now taking a 2-round lead in this Rio search and destroy. And they're 3 rounds away from closing it out, but we've seen crazy things happen in search and destroys today, so don't count Florida out just yet, even though they are down by 2. And right now, Florida is once again on this offense. We've seen them play A twice, and both times they played it very slow. We'll see if they're going to switch it up here and see if Diaz is just going to be with the rest of the pack or trying to go on his own. Seems like he's just going to push for the rest of the team here.
Yeah, we see Florida here. They're really favoring this A bomb site. We haven't seen any pushes towards the B bomb site. Chicago's Reigns able to pick up 1 kill. Clinic's able to get the kill on Diaz. Probably not supposed to win that gunfight, but does anyway. Trapsy's gonna get killed by Roberto, and that's gonna be Caesar. Kind of last alive here in the back. He's gonna take some shots. We're gonna run out of some ammo. Gonna push up with this Renetti, able to pick up 1. Is gonna get spotted. Unfortunately, gonna fall. Chicago Hunted able to take another round in a row, make that 4 in a row, and doing exactly kind of what I said a couple rounds ago, that getting that 4-1 is going to be pretty comfortable here, having a lot of momentum heading into round number 6.
Definitely a lot of momentum heading into the next round, especially after you do win 4 in a row. But now Florida is on the defensive side, and winning this round is crucial for them in order for them to just stay in it, at least going into the coming rounds. But if you're Florida and you go up 5-1, it's pretty much guaranteed that you will win this map, cast or curse aside. So we'll see. They're approaching A this time, and Ismay with the nade, though, trying to get some tags in. He doesn't get intercepted by the trophy, so he knows there's at least one player there. And he is with the opening kill.
Yeah, great kills from the side of Florida. It's been a while since we've seen them with the advantage. I do see some shots coming down here towards the side of Garage, but Florida really heavily playing this A side now. I'm pretty sure they know bomb is down on the bomb, but that is going to be great for the side of Florida. Now Chicago, they kind of maybe got to take a couple different routes here. We see some plays happening towards the side of P1. Ismay able to pick up both players on the A side, and this has got to make the side of Chicago, or the side of Florida, start thinking a little bit here, as we do see Clinics able to pick up another. Going to make this a 1v2, as there's going to be a hunt coming here from Zonk. He's able to pick up the last player. It's going to be a 1v1 between Ismay and Zonk. And as I say that, Ismay is going to pick up that kill. Chicago Hunted going to take 5 in a row here on Rio Search and Destroy. We might see a little 6 in a row, 2 matches in a row here, but we'll see what happens in round number 7, as this was Florida's map pick as well. And so, map 1, we saw Chicago take their map pick. They lost that one. So this can be a big win for the side of Chicago if they can finally finish out this 6th round and take a map pick away from the other team.
Esme doing a phenomenal job. He's on a 7 streak, does have the crews to work with as well. So we'll see if he decides to pull it out in this round or maybe keep it just in case for the later rounds in case Florida does take a round here. Roberto does get tagged, but able to get a 1-for-1 trade. Zonk there with another kill, making it a 3v2 life advantage. And just as we say that, the cruise comes in, so does the info. Unable to connect, but at least Ismay knows where the last 2 players from the side of Florida are.
And it looks like the side of Florida know that he's going to be coming from this side here. Ismay can get a good timing here. He's going to see the bomb player. Unfortunately, he's not going to see the person behind him, and he's going to fall. It's going to be Florida able to pick up their second round of the match here, and you're going to win 5 in a row here to make this comeback. And Blubsy, this isn't something we haven't seen tonight. We did see a full sale first series, so it wouldn't be surprising if we see 5 in a row here.
Definitely not, especially that Ismay did use the crews on this round as well, so they don't have the crews to work with anymore. If you're the side of Chicago, you do. I mean, in Florida, you do have to win it one round at a time. Take it bit by bit, but still, it is not over for Florida. First team to get to 6 wins it. That's exactly how Search and Destroy works. So it does not matter what the scoreline is. You have to win 6 regardless.
Yeah, Zonk is on 3 here. If he can start stringing something together, he can get a cruise missile for himself. But that's kind of a bit of a ways here. So we see a fight from Diaz and Clinics, and Clinics going to come on top there, give his team the advantage. And on the attacking side, that's going to be huge here. As we see the side of Chicago here, they're kind of stuck towards that connector side. We do see Caesar pick up one of them towards that hot dog, able to get to connector again. But Roberto able to pick up another kill in mid. Bomb going down on B. Trap and Caesar kind of alone towards that A side here. We do Caesar here. We see a fight coming in. He does not check his corners. And so Trap is left alive. And unfortunately, Trap is going to fall. That's going to be a 6-2 win from the side of Chicago. Hunted able to take the Rio S&D map pick from Florida off of them and take the series into a 1-1 tie.
It is a 1-1 tie so far now, and phenomenal job by
Caesar,
Chicago.
stab me in the back. Would you please, brother? Welcome back to the CRL. We're hopping on board here with Caesar. We do see Zonk with a great kill there. Caesar with the great tracking through the fire truck. Not sus at all, my brother, as he's able to pick up another kill here on this A control point. He's going to have a teammate hop on here with him as well, and that's going to be at least the first takedown here.
Could this be the first PC check we got on the CRL Bravo stream? I don't know. It might be. But so far, Florida getting those kills on A. Now Trapsy on the point here, playing his life, and Zonk is there to help him out. Can't they get a stack in here? The second tick is in. This is huge for Florida.
Yeah, Florida has some great map presence right now. That's going to be 2 more stacking on their point here. They're about halfway done with that third tick. They are able to kill one player off. He's Caesar's able to pick up another kill. Unfortunately, not going to get that third tick here as the side of Florida is going to hop over to that B side of Chicago, get that big tick down. But we do see some early kills coming in here from the side of Chicago. You know, we saw the same thing last series, Blubsy, with 2 ticks coming down on A immediately, and then B getting captured here. Starting off with 5 ticks is no slouch on Invasion. We really like to get the win on this offensive round once you start with 5, but 5 is a pretty good offensive round nonetheless.
Yeah, Chicago was able to stop the bleeding last minute on A, but it might be too little too late with 2 minutes here to work with for Florida to get this A point. And Diaz on the flank. He loves to be on the flank, and he does a good job peeking too soon. Clinics was able to get those kills and clear those Florida players off of B, but now Trapsy's there, and it seems like it's going to close out unless Roberto's there, able to get those kills. And if you're Florida, you have to get this B point quickly because time is ticking.
Yeah, and you just let the side of Chicago get set up on one of the meanest head glitches ever, but you do get that push on him with Zonk. He is unfortunately going to fall to Ismay, who is in Dark Tunnel. Ismay able to pick up another kill towards mid, and so Florida here, you kind of left a little bit early on that point. Didn't get that cap, but you are able to pick up 2. They are on the A point. We do see about half the point going down. Diaz unfortunately not able to pick up that kill, but this should allow B point to be captured as we see kind of a reset here with Florida taking a slight life advantage going into this A capture.
With 1:30 left to work with, that is not a lot of time. to get A. You need to get these wipes here, and you start off by getting 2, so that's huge, but you need to get the rest of the Chicago players, and now some of them are up A Street, some of them are spawning all the way in gas. Diaz does get the timing and the kill, hops on the point with a dolphin dive. We love to see the hybrid movement here. Gets the second as well. CK, if you're watching, learn from this guy.
Oh my gosh, the guy hops on the point and uses his dolphin dive accurately, and that is great from the side of Florida, able there to get on that point, win that offensive round. And you know, that's exactly what you want to do when you're starting off that first round on offense. You want to make a statement to that other team that we can win in offense, so we're not afraid to play a little aggressive here on invasion. So it's a big win from the side of Florida for that round, and so we'll see what happens on this defensive side.
Right now, if you're Chicago, you have to answer this round with another big offensive hit. So we'll see what they can do. But Esme is having himself another map so far, 7-4. And it looks like Chicago's doing exactly that. They're hitting this A point. But Caesar with the explosive car kill, that does help him a little bit, helps his team out. The contest is in on the point. Pog gets one. Trapsy gets the trade. One guy left on the point, and it is Caesar to clean it out. Ismate does end up falling as well, and there goes his streak, and just like that, now Florida are able to clear that A point while Chicago hops on B.
Yeah, we see Caesar there on a 5 streak here. One more kill and he'll able to pick up that cruise missile. Here we see Diaz able to pick up 2 on that B point. We do see another kill coming down here from the side of Trapsy. We just have 1 player left in Ismay, and he is able to get some info on where those players are, but this is going to be a tough route from the side of Chicago Hunted. You are pretty far in your spawn. Caesar really just trying to play passive, trying to get this last kill for his cruise missile. We do see some fights coming down here on A Street, and Chicago Hunted has broken out of the spawn trap. They are on A, and they are making ticks as we see 2 players stack on point here.
Yep, Stack is in a little friendly trophy hit there, but that doesn't do much damage, and Caesar on the flank here on a huge streak, on a heater, gets everything. All it's left on that point is Roberto. Can he get the kill here? No, it is Caesar. Caesar's on fire right now.
Yeah, Caesar able to pick up that cruise missile. Going to be very vital for his team, especially if they're looking to win another offensive round here. The side of Chicago still hasn't captured B. They only have about 40 seconds left, but we do see 3 players kind of heading over towards here. So if Florida can go huge with some kills, Trapsy's going to start it off with 1 towards that side DVD. Zonk's able to pick up another. Diaz and Caesar able to pick up that 4. It's a full team effort to get a full team wipe, and that's going to be everybody from the side of Chicago back off the spawn, and Florida Puppeteers are ready for the spawn trap.
And with only 12 lives remaining for Chicago, as well as 25 seconds, they're in a very tough situation here. Zonk with a 2-piece. Esme is able to get 1 for his team, and Pog is going to try and stop the clock hopping on A, but there are 2 Florida players there. Make it 3. Caesar is on the point. Diaz gets the kill with a sub, instantly gets traded out, but Zonk is there with a 1-for-1 trade and call that around. Florida's up 2-0 with Chicago only getting 2 ticks on offense.
Yeah, that is not what you want from the side of Chicago. Florida Puppeteers have 3 rounds. They have an offensive round coming up here. If they can win it here, they'll end the game in a 3-0 fashion. Otherwise, they have another crack at defense for free, and then based on how many ticks they get this round, whether or not they secure that defense for round 5, if it makes it there. Now, I have seen a fair share of, full sales in invasion control where you go down 2-0, you start on defense, you win your defense, and you win an offense, and then you push it into a defense there on round 5. So it's definitely possible here on invasion, and so we'll see what the side of Florida can do here. They won that offensive round pretty heavy-handedly here, so they'll see what we can do here.
Unable to get the kill on the player on point, and then Esme here with a 2-piece. That is huge for the side of Chicago. They did a much better job on that defense initially than they did last time. This is huge, but Florida do have 2 cruise missiles to work with. I don't know how you would use them here on offense, but it could at least give you info and maybe a couple of opening kills when you do want to hit a Dropsy here, unable to get the kill. Ismay's on fire. He's having one hell of a map.
Yeah, Ismay's on a 3 streak here. That cruise missile could be huge for his team. And with that point secure here, we're going to do a little bit of math in our head. That is going to be a defense confirmed for the side of Florida for that map, or for that round 5. They got 6 the first one, they got 3 the second, and Chicago Hunted only had one opportunity to get that, and you can only get a max of 6. And so Florida, even if you lose the next 2 rounds, you still have defense secured for that mat, or for the round 5. So it's a job well done from the side of Florida. But if you're Florida, you don't want to wait till next round. You don't want to wait till that 5th round either. You want to just get it done.
Zonk doing a good job getting that first kill, but Clinics is there for the trade. Ismay in a good position here to watch the players flooding from B Street, and Caesar's playing all the way back Palace, trying to get those opening picks to help his team move up down B Street. Diaz there on the flank, gets one. Can he get the second? No, it is Ismay with the kill, and now Chicago are holding off. Clinics here with a clinical kill. See what I did there? Phenomenal job now by Chicago.
You know, some would see what you did there, but I was just kind of hoping I didn't. So, you know, not too bad there. We do see the side of Ismay here is on this Godhead towards this B control, able to hold off a couple of these Florida players. But we do see Trapsy here. He has kind of got behind the defense. He hasn't. Chicago has no idea where he's at. He's going to step on A, so they know exactly where he's at now. They are going to get 2 kills here. As we see the side of Chicago finally realizing that somebody's on A, they're all going to turn around here. So this is going to allow the side of Florida to kind of push up through this A street, throw in a couple shots here. Trapsy unable to pick up both, able to pick up one, but that's going to be pretty big from the side of Florida. They are able to get out of that spawn trap, but they do only have 35 seconds left here. It's looking like you have about 1 push as a team here, and with some trades coming down, we need some important gunfights to happen here. And Zonko's absolutely massive on the point for his team, able to pick up 1. Ismay able to help, but they have a 2-stack on the point as we speak with some players coming in from the back.
And Wolfie, guess what? Ismay's on a 13 streak. He is on fire. As soon as I say that, he dies. I'm sorry, but he had to flood in onto that point because it is being taken by Florida, but not before Ismay goes on a massive streak for his team. Florida closed it out, but we have to look at that scoreline. Ismay was doing everything for Chicago on that control.
13 kill streak is huge here. That's definitely a record from us casting. I haven't seen anybody go higher than that, but that is massive from the side.
Florida currently up 2-1 on the series, now into sub base with a phenomenal map on that control on Invasion, trying to carry this momentum in onto the sub base. And so far, Zonk does get that opening kill. Thank you, Mr. Producer, for putting it on. And Florida just doing a great job. Wow.
Yeah, I was gonna say that exact thing about shout out to the producer for getting Zonk on the initial kill there, but you kind of took my thunder there. But Florida Puppeteers are on this point, ready to go. They're gonna take this first 25 seconds uncontested. We do see a fight eventually coming down, and Zonk's just going absolutely huge on P1. They are gonna take the majority of this time on P1 as they start to rotate towards this P2. But Chicago Hunted, you know, they only have 1 player outside of Garage right now. That is Ismay. He is able to pick up Diaz, try to make something for his team, but we do see Florida kind of already rotated here from the backside, already on point, as they were able to pick up 41 points on that P1, which is almost unheard of.
41 points as well as rotations for P2 is huge, but the kills coming in for Chicago to break this hill, and Zonk does eventually die, so he can't get that cruise missile. He was on a 4 streak. Right here, though, Trapsy just trying to hold spawns for his team, but Chicago is spawning behind them. Trapsy with the opening kill. Clinics there on the trade. Diaz doesn't see the player, does get gunned down, but Zonk there with a 1-for-1 trade. And Chicago doing a good job here on this P2, getting this hill time, holding off the pushes from Florida. But as soon as I say that, the flood comes in. 2 kills from Florida, 1 from the side of Chicago, and Florida's going to get the rest of the scraps.
Yeah, and Florida is going to get the scraps, but they are going to lose those rotations. 2 new. We're going to see some interesting sub-base spawns coming in here as we see Diaz all the way in the back here, as we see Florida spawning Riverside, Chicago spawning back sub-base now. So unfortunately for Chicago, you're going to lose all those spawns as Florida starts to get the new one, and your 1 player, Roberto, is not going to stay alive in new. So it's going to give Florida more time that's just uncontested, completely free for them.
And P3 is definitely one of those hills where you can break and flip spawns quite easily if you have control up top snow and maybe like tunnel or warehouse, and exactly what Florida do. But once again, Chicago does the exact same thing and punishes them, able to get those trades. Now the kill feed is all zigzag, different colors, red, sorry, orange and green. I can't see colors right now, but Florida is able to get scraps once again, extending the lead, and once again Chicago does have rotations for that next hill.
Although I do appreciate the red and green, we are on a snow map, and unfortunately, we are in the middle of the year, not quite close to Christmas time. But some of us are colorblind. That was kind of offensive there, Bubs, I'm not gonna lie. But we do see the rotation for Chicago kind of coming towards this P4. They are kind of still in the back sub base, hoping to get spawns with MWIII, but unfortunately, his team's going to spawn fully out. He should have that communication. He's going to pick up at least 1 kill on time as the side of Florida through Zonk is going to be chasing him, trying to find him. They are going to get that kill in the back, and so we do see some good old sub-base spawns here. People spawn in river, people spawn in comms. You don't really know what's going on, but Florida is able to pick up a great 3-piece, leaving Roberto by himself in comms. Unfortunately, going to fall to our Diaz as well, and Florida just absolutely massacre through this front side of the front side of this hard point.
Very mixy spawns here. You're more likely to just roll a dice and guess what number it's going to get than you are to figure out where you're going to be spawning on this sub base. And Florida is just extending their lead now up by more than 100 points going into this next P5. They're just playing phenomenal Call of Duty. You can definitely tell that the momentum that they had from winning that control map is definitely carrying over into this sub base hardpoint.
Yeah, Blupsy, this is getting a little out of hand here as we see. There's a player from Chicago here able to pick up a kill on hill. Hopefully they could pick up some time here as they're trying to bust through garage. Florida still on that P2 side as we see Chicago finally able to pick up a couple seconds on time. They are able to pick up those kills as well. And so the side of Chicago here looking to make a little bit of a comeback here on this P5. But you're going to need more than just P5 to make a comeback in this game. You're already down by well over 100, and it's going to be a rough comeback.
Definitely is going to be a rough comeback, but it does start with one hill, and this is where it is. So far, Chicago's hold at P5 has been just as good as Florida's hold on any other of the hills. So, Chicago, you're happy with this P5, and you just want to carry it over onto this next P1, P2, etc. to make a comeback.
It's the one thing I love about Hardpoint, that the game is really never over. Even if you're down, you know, the team only has a couple points left, you can hold every single hard point. You can do exactly what you need to and still win the map. So Chicago still has definitely a play here. They're only down by 90 as we see Florida eventually take control of that P1 again. They had a great P1 in the first rotation, but it's not going to be the same here as we see Florida able to take 3 down in the feed. Last one's going to be Clinics towards that tunnel side. He is going to fall, so Florida is going to have control of P1 here as we see the following kills coming from Florida's side.
And can we just appreciate the kills from Florida? 16 and 11 from Diaz, 15 and 9 from Trapsy, 14 and 9 from Zonk, and even Caesar having a minute and a half on hill with very few engagements just shows how Florida is just a well-oiled team here, playing like a very good Call of Duty, playing around each other, getting each other's trades, and being in control of hills and breaking hills as well.
We'll see how they do on breaking kind of a setup hills here with P2 that Chicago had rotated pretty early, gave up some of that scrap time. So we'll see how Florida attacks this. We do see one player towards the back, number 6. Unfortunately, he's going to fall as well as Caesar is towards that window side. So Florida right now just kind of playing passive. They know that they can kind of give up this time. It's not super crucial to the game. But they do want to be able to pick up something as we see Diaz able to pick up 1 kill, hop in time for just a second, going to be taken down by Pogue there. But Trapsy here, kind of last man on the hill from the side of Florida, seeing if he can make a difference. Otherwise, the side of Florida is just going to start that rotate towards P3.
Florida unable to break this P2. Chicago with a very good setup because they rotated early and because they were able to hold it. But now it is Florida on this P3 rotations with MWIII, the only one near this point to be able to break. The stun is in. He does get tagged, so they know where he is. And now they're going to get the peek on him, double peek, and they get the kill. Florida is in control of P3, and Poke trying to go here for a little bit of a flank. Maybe get a kill or 2 in the spawns. Doesn't see the player, unfortunately, and Florida is getting more and more hill time.
Yeah, Florida can't win it here, but they really got to start looking towards that P4 rotation. They didn't have that off of the last time. It's pretty hard to rotate from P3 to P4. But when you are Trapsy, you get that kill towards P4. He is definitely looking. They're split spawning mid maze with him. Trapsy able to get another kill here. And so Florida, they still have control of P3 as well as getting that P4 rotation as we see another gunfight going on here. Unfortunately, Trapsy is going to fall as Ismay picks up a big two-piece on old. Just going to kind of leave that time as his team is starting to spawn out as Roberto's the only one left on P4.
Now the setup is coming in from Florida on this P4. They can win it here. They're very close to doing so. It's a 90-point lead. They're 220 to 133. They're already set up, and Ismay trying to kill that player back green. Gets the tags in. Laser beam from Ismay, able to gun him down, but Trapsy's there for the trade. Now 20 seconds away from closing this out, but Roberto is able to hop on the point for just a second at least to help his team out. Florida in a good position here, and I think a cruise is coming in.
Yeah, we hear that cruise coming in. Trapsy able to pick up one towards that P1 side. Florida gonna hop on time. They only need 10 seconds left here to win. It doesn't look like the side of Chicago is even gonna be able to get there. They're starting to push through Riverside here. We see one last push from the side of Chicago, one player, and that is gonna be it. The side of Florida is gonna take this series 3-1, finishing it out on the sub-base hard point, taking the win over the Chicago Hunted, able to make it to that championship next week.
Extremely dominant performance from Florida on those last two maps, doing a great job on these respawns where they show that they